It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. The heart of Massachusetts should be freedom, justice, and liberty. Freedom led pilgrims from Plymouth Bay. Salem trials had justice too late. The sons of liberty spilled the tea, and then the redcoats spilled their blood. The shot heard around the world rang out from the Bay State. Boston strong and ready to defend. It's where revolution started and ends. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day. Quincy Market, Freedom Trail, Charles River, Boston Harbor, Bunker Hill, Griffin's Wharf, Fenway Park, Omar Charge. It's been such a long time since Boston led the way. It's more than a feeling. It's Mike and Tom to start the day.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I lost my background. Where did it go? Huh. Noodles, good morning, my dear. You're muted.
Good morning.
How's everything over there?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Hey, what's going on with the screen? It's goofy.
Ain't that funny?
Yeah, it
Let's
shows half
do
your
this.
face.
Yeah. StreamYard. Let's do that. Is that better? Yes?
Now I see your whole face.
All right. I think this is the Toys for Tots logo in the right-hand corner. All right. You're in dual asset mode. Use a 3-dot menu to customize. Okay. So StreamYard's going, all right, everybody buckle up. This is going to be interesting. StreamYard is, there we go. There we go. Better?
Yes.
Yeah.
On my end. Is it better for everybody else?
I think so. Susan, Melanie, Mary. Good to see you, Mary. Hope you're doing well. Gail. You can only see half of me. Are you behind by any chance? See if you, because I shut that other half off. It's
So in stream,
go ahead.
from what I'm looking at on my phone, it looks fine, but looking at it on my Chromebook, it does not. This is the same thing that's been happening with Turtle Boy. Are you in a short?
Negative. It's how it's StreamYard in the view. How StreamYard is that different?
Here, let me see if I can take a picture of it and send it to you.
Size, font, StreamYard. I can do that. StreamYard did an update. Style, theme, classic, and we're all in a learning curve. So when you guys go and see somebody later on, yeah. Okay, I understand what you're talking about now. I see it. All right, do that.
Yeah, it's kind of goofy.
Yes. Where are we?
But on StreamYard, I also have 2 different pictures. It's not the same as before.
So what StreamYard decided to do, people, I wish I could show you. They've updated what we see on our end, but they've also added stuff. And I'm trying to find where they put it. Layouts. Yeah, it's not that. It asked me about the dual mode, and I said, no, I don't want it. And that's what I think you guys are seeing is the dual mode. See, it says show vertical. Can you guys see that?
No. Did you see the screenshot I sent you?
Yes,
This looks really weird.
I see it.
like
It's
really-
doubled. Why?
It's never been like this before.
Is that changing it at all, anybody? That's messed up, huh?
Yeah, it's wild.
All right, listen, you stay here and let me restart. I'll be right back. Everyone stays tight. Noodles, you got the show, my girl.
Okay.
Be right back.
How is everybody? Please, everybody, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get a bunch more people in here. What's the weather like everywhere? Minnesota, it's 35-ish right now. Kind of chilly. Supposed to get to 65 on Friday. Woohoo. Then back down to 30s on Sunday. Great. Hi, Donna. Wendy, so Mass is getting about the same kind of weather that we are getting over with over here. It sucks. Trust me. It's coming your way. What should we talk about? Since I'm talking to myself. This is fun. Wendy, we don't have sun here either. Kind of like depressing. Very depressing. Have you guys heard my joke for Thanksgiving? It's kind of funny. If the Indians would have gave us donkey for Thanksgiving meal instead of a turkey, we'd all be eating a bunch of ass for Thanksgiving meal. Sorry, I thought it was kind of funny. Who wouldn't want ass for Thanksgiving meal, right?
Hey, real quick. When I left, did you go normal?
I was in the center of the screen, but it's
I'm-
still showing
I'm
that.
seeing double too here.
Yeah, it's still showing that that we're tiny. So if you take me off screen, see if you go normal.
I'm trying to play with the resolution real quick to see how it was. Okay. Why is it duplicate? Hide vertical. Is that normal now?
Nope, it's still the same. This is so weird. This is what Aiden's bus stop lives have been like the last couple days.
But see, now what's even stranger is when I restarted the Toys for Tots in the right-hand corner.
Mhm.
Now it for whatever reason it wasn't there.
Joseph Kane said you're in like phone short mode.
I'm looking through all the settings here. Let me
Yeah,
ooh.
because where I am on my Chromebook, that's where the chat pops up.
All right, hold on. Just make it cuckoo for a second. I'm messing with the layouts. Keep that one. And I want okay. So now is that changing anything? How like
So
is that
now the chat is underneath me, but we both are on in the middle of the screen.
this is the strangest thing. I wish I had an answer, guys. I'm I got nothing on this. I don't want that. I don't want that. Disable. Okay, now if I do this, and there we are. So the chat's tiny.
This is so weird. It's not full screen.
Does the chat change anybody? Have I just did 2 changes. Does that affect what you see on your end? Anybody?
Nope. I'll take another picture of my Chromebook.
Let me you know what? Maybe it's on my PC. Display scale. That's right. The resolution, I can kick it. Yeah, it doesn't make this. That's just man, I don't like that. I don't have an answer. I wish I did. I didn't change anything. All I did was restart the machine. However, I have a few kitties that may have had something to do with it, but I don't see how. Large logo and large Venmo above me. It's the resolution. It's the settings. It's the settings. Yeah, I know. I know. I have my tech support showed up. Visual effects. Nothing, right? You know, let me unplug my camera. Hold on a second.
Why did it just go to thread?
I know you don't got to show me what it looks like.
No, Tom.
Totally.
The YouTube stream just pushed us here.
What?
Yeah, it just pushed us to threads.
Why?
I don't know. I can't get out of it. Well, one of them's on.
Bear with us, y'all. We're just working on technical
Let me look
difficulties.
again
here.
what the viewers are seeing at home.
My camera should go away right now, right?
All right, look at
My camera go away.
Tom. Everything looks good now. Come here. Look at me.
Lose my camera on the screen, Terry.
Nope. Nope.
Okay, hold on.
Tommy turned into a kitty cat.
Meow. Meow.
Look at the cute
It's
pussy
purring.
cat.
You ready? Watch my camera.
Oh.
What?
Oh, it just went to a photo, Tom?
Yep.
All right, come out. Watch your head. I got it. Ooh. Whoa. Teamwork. Oh,
Is that Sammy on there?
so that's what it's looking like now.
What? Again. that better, people?
Nope.
No. All right, let's do this. How about this? Give me a second. See, my resolution here is just whacked out. That's better. I'm trying to make it bigger for you guys. And now I can read stuff. Okay. So we're getting there. All right. Let me pull this document up, right? And we'll see if this document, we can see it. So there's this. Share screen. Boom. Can we see this, everybody? Town of Stoughton, Police Department, everybody.
We can see it. It's very, very, very small though.
What's small? The actual image?
Yes, I
Okay.
will take
Wait a minute.
picture and send it to you.
No. So if I go here, and if I modify the image here, does it modify the image on StreamYard? Is my thing. Yes, it looks like it's bigger. Yes? Is that readable, guys? Is that what you guys are? Yeah, I don't mind that we're smaller. I don't mind that. I can change the size of us on the left-hand side. What's this do? It puts us on top of it. How's that? No problem, Dave. Is that better? I'm not doing a short, which is weird. I'm doing. Wide, no. Tall. Fix that. Ha! You like that, guys? Do you like that better? Okay, I see. That is.
I can see it better in StreamYard than I can on my Chromebook.
So you understand what I'm seeing in StreamYard then, right?
Yeah, it looks to me it looks how it should on the Chromebook in StreamYard, but on my Chromebook it's showing like the pictures I've sent you. It's weird.
And I'm trying to play with how I'm trying to play with the layouts, right? For you guys, so to make it as easy for you guys to see. Two in the middle. We'll try this one. You ready? Nope. That takes away the screen. Yeah, Joe's right. Just keep playing with it, right? All right. So there's that. Do you want me to leave the comments on the screen or take the comments off of the screen, people?
I personally think that we should take the comments off the screen.
But if people are at home, right? And if they don't have, all right. If they don't have it, then there you go. So if I do this,
Well, if they're watching from their TV, they can turn the comments on their TV as well. So
yeah,
I mean that's kind of up to them.
I can read this. So we got to do something with you and me and get us off. We're in the way here. If I do that and nope, it's not going to do it. Check.
It's like in StreamYard that first screen needs to go away and then it would be open. And it would be a full screen.
There's something, and I lose the what do you call it there? Toys for Tots Venmo thing. So, from the day one, my layouts have been messed up with StreamYard. I don't understand why they don't work like other people's. I've deleted them, remade them, resized them, saved them. Like right now, I can move you down. Actually, can I? Let's try this.
Well, I know a lot of people have been having issues with StreamYard lately.
Yeah,
Like ever since they changed their format or something.
yeah, they're changing stuff is what they're doing. So if I do that, you see how like I can make us bigger and smaller and put us, so I can do that. And then on this window, I can move this whole window down. Come on, grab it. There we go. This may do it. Oh, are we getting somewhere, people? With doing this? Because that's the issue is in this. Yeah, you're not even up to date because I moved us down.
Yeah, but watch. Yes, I am. I'm on live.
All right, so let me see something here.
Like the way your chair is? Should you
No, stop. See how I moved this down? Save new layout.
Uh-huh.
What do you see now? Refresh your screen. It moved us. It didn't save the layout. Watch. See this? All right, real quick, people. Give me a second here.
Oh,
I'm
that's
moving
cool.
me and Noodles down to this corner, and then
Okay.
this window where the document's in,
Mhm.
I can move this whole thing down. So I keep my Toys for Tots there,
Okay.
right? Save.
Oh, the custom A. All right.
That's my new layout.
That's
What-
decent.
refresh. This is how it's made.
And you could probably zoom on the document as you read.
I can read it. How about you? Can you guys see that, Noodles? Can you see it?
It looks decent now.
I can see it better in StreamYard than I can on my Chromebook.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like
mean,
really, really.
I'm going to
small.
read from the actual document, which is really big.
So if you moved us to either the top or the bottom, will that
Yeah.
make the pages or the document bigger?
Oh, no, I can make the document bigger if you want. You want me to do that?
Can your sister's there, right?
Yes.
Have her show you what it looks like on her phone.
All right. So if I do this, right, real
Is
quick.
this
Wait a minute. If I do that and I hit save, update custom layout. Oh, no, save. Is that better? You can see the document now, right?
Mhm. Now you're on top of the document.
I know that.
Okay. Yeah. Just
Now, right? I can take you and me and move us anywhere.
good? I want to move somewhere warm.
Yeah. How about this? I'm going to make us smaller, okay?
me too.
Yeah. And where can I put this? I can put this us in the right-hand corner. And check this out, guys.
This kid.
How's that? That gives you guys complete. You can see complete document now, right?
Yep. I like
Yep.
that.
All right. Yeah, my sister's here. Just so you,
This cat is too cute.
I am beyond frustrated. I wish you knew how frustrated I am with my layouts. But yes,
Not alone. Everyone's having issues.
They do updates, and I can't control their updates. I have to work around them. Hey, you know what? You know what I can see? Check this out.
Oh, you can.
They're on a phone.
Oh yeah.
They're on a phone. They're on a phone. I can. I think. Is that what that is? What's
cool.
that say? What's that mean?
The star is to save the comment. You already know.
Yeah.
that, though, right?
But
I
you
bet
see,
that
I think that
cell
means that
phone. Yeah.
Allie. See, Allie,
what
you're
me?
watching
What
on a
about me?
television, and Kristen, I think, is watching on a cell phone,
What about me?
right? C Star's on a cell phone, I think.
Here, let me go
Yes.
check my TV. Because on my Chromebook, it's still the center of the screen, like the pictures I've sent
on
you.
my phone. So
Yeah,
that
you're-
means my TV maybe or a PC.
I don't know. There's icons. There's a new icon next to it. See, Allie's on a phone and she's got no icon. There's an icon next to you guys now. I should take a picture and show you guys so you guys can see it. Because I don't think StreamYard can show you this stuff.
I always wondered how Melanie started comments.
So, Facebook, send it to myself. And I'll
That's
pop it.
weird.
Isn't it?
Because I'm on a phone too.
I mean, I'm all for StreamYard
I'll have
doing
to learn what
doing
those
stuff.
are.
I'm good with that, but man, give us a chance. Give us a chance to keep things the way they were, and then
Or to give you a little tutorial.
yeah, real quick. Let me stop this. Let me show you guys what I'm seeing. Boom. See these icons here on the right hand side?
Oh, I
With the
might have to
question
watch
mark.
this on my TV.
And see, Donna's got an icon
No,
here.
she asked a question. That's why there's a question there. Me? Question mark. So it's
So
telling you that a
these
question
little
is
icons here are new. And see, Allie has a question, but
Let me see if I have the question.
she's on a cell phone. So I figured I didn't know if this was means that you're watching on a cell phone. I'm just curious if that makes sense, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, there's a question.
Yeah, because I asked a question. Yeah.
All right, so StreamYard's doing some pretty good stuff here.
You're a little frustrated.
Yeah. All right, so let's stop this and get back to that document.
Bye, everybody. Have a good day. Bye, Noodles.
All right, everybody. Just I know that the title it says 18 plus because this is just some bad stuff. Skimming through it, it's very you'll see
Oh, you're jealous.
the poor girl. And you know what's funny is just double check this. Oh, and I there's some more information coming out, people. Hey, did I get a phone call yesterday? Oh my goodness. We got eyes on somebody. Big time. Hold on one second. I gotta mute you guys real quick. Noodles, how's it look on your end, real quick?
Sorry, I kicked myself out again. I hit the back button.
Who called Sandra Birchmore the day that she died? Anybody? I didn't know this. Who called Sandra Birchmore the day before she died? Do you know?
I know.
Guys from the.
I'm waiting to see if anybody in the chat knows.
She was already.
I am
amongst-
floored at this answer.
Oh, I want to know.
CJ got it correct. It
Yeah,
was
he's-
Robert
he's
Devine.
Around. Is she right?
Yep. He called her the day before she died. Now, Divine is a gentleman, quote unquote, we just watched in the post commission. Remember the last video we just did of the post commission? That guy up there speaking,
Yeah.
and he's so arrogant and just didn't care about nothing. That's who called her the day before she died. He was the deputy chief of police that got demoted.
He called her the day she died.
The day she died.
Same last name.
Huh?
the divine that shot Kelsey, his name is Divine too.
Different.
I know, but isn't that weird? There's
It-
two divines.
It's weird.
There's it's this whole thing
Oh.
is crazy.
Hey.
I wonder what they spoke about the day she got the phone call from Divine. That would be interesting to find out.
I'm gonna go meet Steve.
Wait up.
Doesn't look like there's much meat in here, but
There is 3 pounds.
really?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give it a whirl.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. You guys ready? Buckle up. I'm floored. I can't get over the fact that he called the day that she left. The day that she was that's just
I'm really curious to find out what was discussed that day.
yeah.
And I wonder why it wasn't brought up in that post commission thing they had going on there.
Yeah.
Because News Nation had it. I sent you the
Yes.
video of it, but News Nation had it a month ago and talked about it. So weird.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing, isn't it? So this is again and I this is like that video that we watched of that police officer who just didn't care. Only cared about himself. Man,
Oh, CJ, it was brought up in the hearing?
I didn't
Was
hear
it?
it.
I didn't hear it either. Was it brought up by
It
when
they
Divine
blocked-
was up there?
They blocked a lot of that. Remember, they kept blocking stuff out, like muting it and cutting out the feed, so we couldn't hear
Yeah.
some of it. So I'm sure there's some stuff that we didn't hear. I didn't hear it, but just for the whole sake of the purpose. I mean, Jesus, crazy.
And that's the thing with those, like, those post commission hearings or even court hearings. Everybody hears different things and points out different things, and that's the best part about this community is everybody voices what they hear versus what everybody else hears.
right.
You know what I mean?
And listen, we got the sleuthy goosies, we got the Olivias. Like we have the knowledge. We have the knowledge base to be able to go through this document that we're gonna read and find all sorts of inaccuracies, I'm sure. This is a legal document here. Town of Stoughton from the police department. It should be 100%. 100%. Real quick. This isn't a short. This is a live. But it says here, all set. You're about to enter a Mars studio. Learn more. Multi-aspect ratio streaming, which is what we're having an issue with, is the aspect ratios of this to this to this to this. So, Megan, this is a live. Me and Noodles. We're gonna read this document. I gotta edit the screen real quick, Noodles. We're gonna move us over here. And then I wanna
I already said it once. If you're gonna move us somewhere warm, please.
save that, update that. But I want a lot of work was put into the what do you call it there? How come it won't work? Oh. You're in dual asset mode. Use how the 3-dot menu. Oh. Aha.
Did you fix us?
Kinda. Hey,
Did you
check
see
this
what it
out.
looks like on my TV?
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that what people are talking about?
That's bad, eh?
How it's like that?
And it looks like a short.
And it's not though. That's
What
why
Look at this girl.
she's trying to. Yeah, I don't want you to leave.
Spastic.
That's why people are saying it looks like a short. Get it?
I never saw it that way.
It's just brand new. It's an update.
Hi, donkey.
Okay.
I like how you can make yourself bigger and smaller.
Oh my.
Oh, what's that? I don't even fuck with that later, dude.
All right. Let's get out of this. But I want to put the QR code and the QR code. I want to. There was a lot of work put into that. Oh. And I want to just keep it up, put it up there for you guys if you guys want to donate to that. How come it won't go full screen?
Now it disappeared.
It won't let me. Either way. All right, I'm sorry, guys. Let's get back to this. Thank you, StreamYard. Trust me, in the long run, it's going to be good. But I understand there's options that the StreamYard now provides us that is going to make it a better experience for you guys. This is just brand new. I'm just looking at it for the first time right now. All right. Town of Stoughton Police Department. This is from Chief McNamara, the female chief. We watched her, didn't we, on the first time, Noodles?
Yes, we did.
That's her. All right. Chief McNamara. Pursuant to your directive of February 5th, 2021, to conduct this investigation, I hereby submit the following report into the matter of the unattended death of Sandra Birchmore and into the possible violations of the policies, procedures, rules, and regulations of the Stoughton Police Department. Is this the document that she said she didn't read?
Probably
Remember?
one of the million documents she never read.
All right. This administrator, I'm reading the document. I can't see the chat. So Noodles, you're in charge of the chat.
Got it.
And I'll do the documents. Good? Check.
Perfect.
We're good?
Good. Perfect.
Sweet. All right. This is administrative investigation was conducted to determine any violations of the policies, procedures, rules of the Stoughton Police Department by any of its employees. This investigation began as a result of the unintended death investigation that was conducted by the Massachusetts State Police, Norfolk County, by the way, in the death of Sandra Birchmore of Canton, Mass., formerly of Stoughton, and former participant into the Stoughton Police Explorers Program. Investigative reports and evidence in this case was shared by the Massachusetts State Police concerning personal relationships and members of the Stoughton Police Department had with Miss Birchmore. That members, more than one. Throughout the course of this investigation, there was an understanding between the Massachusetts State Police and me that should any evidence be discovered concerning criminal culpability involving anybody connected in any way to this case, that I would refer that to information to the Massachusetts State Police for further investigation. Why do you think that is, Noodles?
You know, honestly, I probably could not tell you the answer to that. Just saying. But
State
just
Police
know-
wanted all the information so they can control it and they can decide who gets charged with what. It's really a game of who you know and what they'll let you get away with.
they
No
just want to
problem.
hide everything and not let the public know anything at all whatsoever. And it's wrong.
Correct? All right. Per policy, the chief of police received weekly updates as to the progress of this investigation, and on occasion with more frequency when relevant. A determination was made in the early stages of this investigation that disclosure of allegations to employees who would eventually be identified would jeopardize this investigation. A determination was made in the early stages that disclosure of allegations to employees would eventually be identified, would jeopardize the investigation. So they're saying, like, example, when they did the investigation, they spoke to the dispatcher who took the call. Remember that dispatcher that took the call and they said, promised never to talk about it again?
Yeah, by chance, would that have been Miss False Memory Chick?
No, this is Stoughton Police Department. She works for Canton. This is the next town over. Pretty close.
Yeah, but maybe she was working both of them and we just don't know it.
Well, listen, at this point, nothing would shock me, right? I mean,
Right.
An approximate timetable was provided and updated as information developed. Some delays in the processing of data were beyond the control of this investigator. Any dispositions or findings are based on the preponderance of evidence standard of proof. Preponderance of evidence. All right. All right, real quick. Take a chat. Yeah, everyone that's here. Donna, I bless you. Thank you so much, Donna. I know what you did right into my heart. Real quick, everyone, just a heads up. We're going to be reading the document. It's going to get graphic, going to get bad, not suitable for young children, mature audiences, and yeah. Oh, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to donate, the Cash App is cputom@gmail.com. Venmo, cputom@gmail.com. Thumbs up, like. We got to get Noodles. We got to get your Venmo, Cash App.
No,
No,
I
okay.
don't know how to use those.
Yeah, all right. We'll talk about that later.
I'm not
Yeah,
tech
so-
savvy.
So yeah, just gonna go over this document and keep going. On February 4th, 2021, the Canton Police Department responded to a sudden death. The call originated as a well-being check from Stoughton Police, Stoughton School System, I think is where she was employee. The employer of the victim, Sandra Birchmore. The call came here to Stoughton Police Department as Birchmore's address of record was 40 Holbrook Ave in Stoughton. Call came into Stoughton, even though she lived in Canton.
So here's
Further-
one thing that I
That's
have
strange.
questioned for a long time. Why was it her job, the one that had done a call to the police department to check on her when she was not found for a couple days?
And I think in Massachusetts, as an employer, if your employee doesn't respond to work or phone calls, doesn't come in for no reason at all, I think you're allowed to do a welfare check on them. And more often than not, when they do the welfare checks, it's for a reason. You know what I mean? As this
Right.
was. Yeah.
I just don't understand why she wasn't found for so many days after, when it seems like she's got quite a bit of family and friends out there.
Friends, right? I mean, what if you couldn't get in touch with me for 2 days?
Well, I was worried about you this morning because you weren't online.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
But I mean,
It's just-
see, and that's just this morning. What about a day? What do you do
oh,
then? You get what? You'd
I-
be worried.
well, yeah,
Normal
I would
people
definitely-
do that, right?
yeah, I would definitely be calling people in that area to go check on you. That's for sure.
And there's, this circle. So everyone's got a circle, right? What happened to her circle? It broke down.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right. The call came. Yeah. So it came to Stoughton.
Was her because she lived in Canton. Was her employer in Stoughton?
Yes, I believe so.
So I wonder if maybe that's the reason that her employer called Stoughton versus Canton, and then Stoughton sent it over to Canton, didn't they?
Yep, I think so. We're gonna find out. Further communication directed that the Canton police would do the well-being check at her address. Um, Birchmore had not reported to work in several days. Just like there's no reason for me to read the address, people, right? So you guys you know that I'm skipping stuff on purpose because where she lived isn't like the address. We know she lived, so like yeah. The victim, Miss Birchmore, was pronounced deceased at the scene by a Canton paramedic. Huh. They can't pronounce, or can they? Either way. She died from blank. See exhibits in subsequent Massachusetts State Police interviews. On or about February 5th, 2022, you were contacted by a detective from the Massachusetts State that is assigned to the Norfolk County DA's office. The nature of the call was to notify you that a former member of the Stoughton Police Explorers program of this department had blank. The trooper related that the former police explorer and Sandra Birchmore had been in and blank relationship with Detective Matthew Farwell for an extended period of time. He indicated that on the day that Miss Birchmore blank, other troopers in the Canton Police Department responded as they ordinarily would to any unattended death. So right off the bat, the investigations involving the state police, right?
Right. I don't.
They
This
have to.
whole case just is twisted.
Massachusetts State Police had been contacted by friends and family of the victim, Miss Birchmore, alerting the detective unit to the relationship between Matthew Farwell and Birchmore. Concerns were blank. All right. So it doesn't say when the MSP was contacted.
They sure left
It was-
a lot out of this.
Oh, you're going to see it's going to get even worse. You'll see. It was further relayed that the Massachusetts Medical Examiner's Office took jurisdiction of the body and later confirmed that the victim, Miss Birchmore, blank. The preliminary investigative information showed Detective Farwell on video surveillance of Miss Birchmore's apartment approximately 4 days before she was discovered deceased. Farwell spent about 20 minutes inside the apartment. That's
No.
enough time.
Why would he even have access to her apartment?
They had a relationship, and she had provided him. There was something about a key, so she moved in and gave him access. Further investigation by Massachusetts State Police indicated that Farwell had known the victim, Miss Birchmore, since she was approximately 13 years of age and began blank relationship with her at age 15. Text messaging developed from the Massachusetts State Police investigation indicated that Farwell had blank with Miss Birchmore when she was age 15. 13, 14, 15. The substance of that conversation shows that Farwell collaborates this action. The substance of the conversation shows that Farwell corroborates this action. The investigations by the Massachusetts State Police did not yield sufficient probable cause with which may with which to charge Matthew Farwell with a crime at that time. The investigation by the Mass State Police did not yield sufficient probable cause with which to charge Farwell at that time. Probable cause, she's the last one to see her. She was pregnant. She said it was his kid. She was blackmailing him.
Yeah,
That's
he was
not-
the last one to see her, and Divine was the last one to contact her. Weird.
Isn't that probable cause?
You would think.
Probable cause. Legal standard of proof required for arrests and warrants under U.S. law. The term probable cause refers to the right that a police officer has to make an arrest, search a person or his property, or obtain a warrant. Probable cause requires that facts and evidence presented in a case are of the type that would lead any reasonable person to believe that the suspect had committed a crime. As an example of probable cause, a police officer might have probable cause to arrest a suspect after noticing obvious drug paraphernalia on the suspect's person. To explore this concept, consider the following probable cause definition. 1. A reasonable ground or to suppose that a charge of criminal conduct is well founded. Yeah. 2. The right of a police officer to make an arrest, issue a warrant, or search a person or his property. Yeah. If a situation presents itself where there's any reasonable person would believe a suspect to have committed a crime. Yep. Check. What do you think?
I think they had every probable cause right there, but Massachusetts State Police and any of the smaller police stations there seem to think that probable cause does not affect any of their police officers.
I have a question. Can you go into StreamYard and like what do you have for options at the bottom?
I got my mic, I got my camera, I got chat, I got 3 dots, and I got a square.
Yeah,
Arrow.
so the mini thing. Okay. You can't present anything. Okay.
No.
That just blows my mind. They did have probable cause.
They absolutely did. Like I said,
Now-
I feel that
Here's
police
the question.
officers and detectives over there seem to think that they don't when it comes to another police officer.
But here's the question. Do you go arrest your partner? Do you go arrest the guy you've been working with for 20 years? Do you arrest him? He's the boss.
Why not? Kelsey got shot by her partner.
Think about it for a second. You're going to go, imagine you go fire your boss. That's ridiculous. Really is. All right, let's go. After discussion with you, me, and the appointing authority, a decision was made to place Matthew Farwell on paid administrative leave given the nature of what was known at that point in time. Ultimately, the MSP investigation would determine through the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, see how they put it on her, that the cause of death of the victim, Sandra Birchmore, blank, analysis of the victim's communications shows extensive dialogue between herself and Matthew Farwell when Matthew Farwell told her he had arrived at her apartment and she told him to come up. Matthew Farwell was the last person known to see Sandra Birchmore alive. Given the volume of the data, the town authorized the assistance of outside investigators. PI Paul L'Italian was initially brought in to assist, and we would later bring our PI Robert Fries and Michael Bates as an IT consultant. Robert Fries, I worked with him. All investigators are retired ranking members of the Massachusetts State Police with extensive investigative experience. So they brought in their old buddies, the buddies that may be on these text chains that Proctor's blasting around, like them people. No. Much of the initial investigative steps were centered on a PDF document that contained a download of the data from the victim, Sandra Birchmore's laptop. The laptop had been synchronized with her cellular phones, plural phones. A later analysis of the cell phones provided a data pull that was less cumbersome and easier to identify users and people with whom the victim, Sandra Birchmore, was having discussions. Data was provided to me in a Celebrate format for easier and more organized analysis. The investigation would later show that Matthew Farwell had a long-standing blank with the victim, Sandra Birchmore, and that his twin brother, Officer William Farwell, had a blank relationship with the victim, Sandra Birchmore. Yeah. Wow. The investigation also determined by a preponderance of the evidence that Officer Robert Devine had a blank relationship with the victim, Sandra Birchmore. Devine, that's that guy. The investigation shows evidence that blank behavior took place between Matthew Farwell and Sandra Birchmore, and that Robert Devine was engaged blank of Matthew Farwell and William Farwell as his understudies. So Devine was the leader to the brother Farwells. All right, real quick. I don't think I put this on Twitter. So if everyone just take a break real quick, breathe, stretch. If everybody could take a second and just share this on Facebook, Twitter, just hit share, I would really appreciate it. Done there.
Tommy, we're back to normal now. That's weird.
How?
I don't know. I went over to Tom CPU and it was normal, and then I came back to Seeking Justice and it's normal.
It wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
This is so weird.
All right. So we have William and Matthew.
So how come William was never arrested yet? How come only Matthew?
I don't know.
Kind of weird.
So you have Devine, who was the mentor of the Farwells, who were idols of the Abington dog officer. That guy deserves to be in jail too. All for a freaking kitten. Man.
I want to see who people think Sandra's baby's dad was. That's what I want to see.
Who do you think it was or is? Yeah. Again, flip a coin, right?
Well, since Matthew was taken out of that, he's not the father. Even though him and William are twins, could he still potentially be the father?
Yes. Again,
or do they have the same DNA? So if Matthew is wiped out, is William going to be wiped out because they're twins? I don't know how that works.
I don't have an answer. I don't. I wish I did. I just, yeah, no, I don't. I got nothing.
Maybe somebody in chat would know that.
Okay. Huh. All right. You guys got some. I'm loving this. This is good. Yeah, Melanie. This is and you know, Melanie, that we're dealing with the same Norfolk County District Attorney's Office that dealt with the O'Keefe thing. This happened approximately a year prior than John, almost to the day. That's bizarre. Is John and Sandra linked? Are they linked somehow? What do you think, Noodles?
I think they are. I think John knew what was going on with Matthew, Divine, and William, and everything else that was going on in Stoughton, and being that he was part of the Boston sex offender
Yeah.
division,
Yes. Yep.
I think he knew about it, and I think they were all gonna get in a lot of trouble, and that's why what happened to John happened to John. Between Sandra, like, he knew way too much. He knew way too much about what was going on, and he was going to be the one to release all the corruption that was going on. I think that's what it was.
It's just, I don't know, man. I, I, I don't know.
Between the Alberts and I feel like
How,
he knew
I
a lot.
don't even know. I wouldn't even begin to guess because it's, I don't know. I don't know.
And honestly, I think Karen kind of knew about a lot of it too, and that's why they tried framing her. Because John and her were in a relationship. You can't tell me that John never talked about what was going on at work. You can't tell me that was something he just like kept a huge secret from her. I think Karen knew, and that's why they framed her. So that way she couldn't speak.
Yeah. Huh.
It's all just too much of a big quinky dink, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, and see, 4LMD, if vowels are identical, the same DNA, but if they're fraternal, it's different DNA.
And I think they are fraternal, right? Because they don't look like.
Yeah. I don't know. All right. Here we go. Contact was made with some participants of the former Stoughton Police Department Police Explorers Program to determine if any inappropriate behaviors, actions, or blank took place beyond what was made apparent through evidence initially obtained. We also interviewed department members and a family member of Sandra Birchmore. Notwithstanding the resignation of any prospective targets of this investigation, interviews were drafted and strategically planned. To the furthest extent possible, we exhausted all investigative resources. The investigation represented a crossroads between the statutory authorized investigative authority of the Massachusetts State Police detectives assigned to the Norfolk County DA's office and the appropriate sharing of information in order to carry out a comprehensive administrative investigation. Can you read that again for me 5 times quick? Wow. To the
No,
furthest
but I think
extent
you could read it
possible.
to me 5 times quick.
So I'm going to go over this again and make sure I have this right. So to the furthest extent possible, we exhausted all investigative resources. So the chief is still, Miss McNamara, who wrote the report, is saying, or whoever made this report is saying, we followed every lead to the very, very end. We did everything. That's what they're saying. All right. And they're saying the investigation represented a crossroads between the statutory authorized investigative authority of the Massachusetts detectives, so the DA's office, and the police department, and what can and can't be shared. That's what I think is they're talking about. and the appropriate sharing of information in order to carry out a comprehensive administrative investigation. At a point early in an investigation, there was an understanding that the Massachusetts State Police still maintains primary jurisdiction over any criminal activity that the administrative investigation could reveal. So whatever they find, the state police are it's their stuff. They're in charge. They have they're flexing their muscles, they'll say. To that extent, the understanding was that if I found evidence of a crime, I would stop the administrative process and refer this case as well as all evidence back to the Massachusetts State Police. Proctor. Nice, huh? One witness came forward alleging that blank by Matthew Farwell. This matter was referred back to the Massachusetts State Police, and the victim in that case did not cooperate with the interview process, which is probably a lie. I conducted a review of the administrative investigation of Robert Devine that was conducted by the investigator Paul White. I reviewed the findings as well as the entire case file. I conducted personal file reviews of blank, Matthew Farwell, and William Farwell. So she read the report and then called them in and asked them questions about the report. Several civilian witnesses were conducted. Also, a conclusion of fact is detailed below. What's up?
I see a trash bag.
Oh.
Did you get my text?
No.
Just one.
All right. Matthew Farwell has been a sworn member of the Stoughton Police Department from March 27th, 2012 until the date of his resignation on April 1st, 2022. He was a member of the Stoughton Police Explorers Group during his teenage years and had been designated the rank of deputy chief within the program in 2022. After high school, he entered the military and later acted as a guest instructor within the Explorers program at the request of direction of Robert Devine. Sandra Birchmore was a member of the Stoughton Police Explorers Group beginning in 2020 when she was 13 years old. She was on the standby list for the program in 2010, was a member in 2011, and remained in the program until 2016, the year she graduated from Stoughton High School. Sandra Birchmore was found deceased at her apartment in Canton on February 4th after a well-being check that she didn't report to work. The Norfolk County DA's office conducted an investigation, and it was determined that the manner of death, blank. So the state police determined X, Y, and Z, along with the medical examiner. And that people I could tell you stories about. On February 6, 2021, Matthew Farwell was interviewed by the Massachusetts State Police as part of the Sandra Birchmore death investigation. During the interview, Matthew Farwell stated that he knew Sandra for about 10 years, and they met when she was in the Explorers program of the Stoughton Police Department. He knew that she had previously blank. Matthew Farwell stated to state police that he began blank relationship with Birchmore in early 2020. He admitted they blank. In December 2020, Sandra told him blank. He stated he last saw her on the evening of February 1st, 2021, when he went to her apartment to end their relationship. They had a pretty nasty argument, and he left there at approximately 9:30. During the state police investigation into Birchmore's death, there was an analysis of her device, cell phone, laptop, etc., and social media platforms. This part of the investigation revealed that Matthew Farwell was in contact with Birchmore by text messaging going back to at least 2020. During many of their text communications, the topic of discussions were blank, probably dirty. There have been hundreds of text messages between Farwell and Birchmore that had been reviewed as part of this investigation. Of note, there was a text message exchange between Farwell and Birchmore on February 11th, 2020. Specifically, the content of one text message, blacked out, refers to the date of blank. M. Farwell text number 6 indicates that Matthew Farwell You are the father. Within the narrative of text 6, it's just all blacked out here. After text, Birchmore says blank. Farwell replied. This text message, Birchmore cites the date and added blank. Farwell responded with a smiley and then me too. This test is marked Farwell text 7. Same date, Sandra Birchmore texted blank. And Matthew Farwell replied blank. See. This is just giving us the back and forth between certain pieces of evidence, like certain text messages, evidence, and that's just saying this is what it says in it. In another text message between Farwell and Birchmore says blank, to which Farwell replied, me too. This text message was on June 19th, 2020, and is marked M. Farwell text 3. The investigation has determined that Sandra Birchmore's date of birth was May 13th, 97, and that she was 15 years old on April 10th, 2013. For the full context of test message, see Exhibit 2. Yeah, I don't care. Matthew Farwell resigned from his position within the Stoughton Police Department on March 11th, 2020, with the resignation to take effect April 1st, 2022. He resisted sitting for an interview in this investigation. The investigation has determined that Matthew Farwell violated Stoughton Police Department rules and regulations as listed below.
No, he did not. Did he?
Yeah.
Really? Why would they even put that in there? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Of course, he violated a lot of rules and regulations. So I have another question too. Until this case, I've never heard of the Explorer program.
Okay.
Is that something that is just in Massachusetts, or is that something in every state?
I don't know.
Because with my son wanting to become a cop, he could do ride-alongs, but there was never like a Explorers program here that I know of anyways.
These are the rules and regulations you need to follow to be a police officer.
Yeah, but what does that say in there? Don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. If you do this, you'll get this.
Yes.
And do any of them follow it?
Nope.
No.
Law Enforcement Code of Ethics, first page. And it tells you all about it. Conduct unbecoming, discourtesy, department vehicles, department property, abusive, incurring department liability, insubordination, mailing address, neglect of duty, all this stuff, uniforms and appearances. Everything is regulated when you're a police officer, and you can't. It tells you how to search a vehicle. Even if you don't do it this way, you're done. They use it to fire you. So this is the book of rules and regulations for the police department. You need to follow every single rule in this.
Yeah, when we went to a open house for my son to start, he was enrolled and he was ready to start college to become a cop.
Mm-hmm.
When we went there, they strictly said, can't have tattoos, can't have your hair a certain length.
Yep.
Can't, if you're a female, you have to have your hair up in a bun at all times, no matter what. Can't have wrinkles at all whatsoever in your clothing.
It's all in the policy and procedure. It's legitimate. All that is in here, and it's so nitpicky. It's you'd cry. You would cry. And if you don't follow the rules, you're done.
Yeah. When they told us that you can't have any visible tattoos, I was like, really? Since when? Because every single police officer I have seen pretty much either have sleeves of tattoos or they have tattoos that are appearing.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen, police officers with male police officers with long hair, but then they're saying in this program you can't have long hair. So is it like you get a certain time frame that you literally have to follow these rules, but then once you get past, say, a year or 90 days or whatever it is, once you get past that, then you can start showing all that stuff and
Yeah.
not following the rules. I also did hear, because we were looking into other programs for my son versus becoming a police officer. And here in Minnesota, I heard that he can become a state trooper instead and not have to go to school for it. Like he would have to for being a police officer, which doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Yeah, it's weird. All right, here we go. What page are we on? 8. Oh my God.
Sorry, I'll stop rambling.
No, we're good. We're good. You keep an eye on chat. I'll keep reading because I can only read the document. I can't. I'm in a different window altogether. So, all right. Regarding the allegation that Officer Matthew Farwell demonstrated conduct unbecoming an officer in violation of Section 1 of the Stoughton Police Department Rules and Regulation, this allegation is sustained. It means it's factually true. Matthew Farwell demonstrated immoral, improper, disorderly, or intemperate personal conduct that reflects discredit upon the officer himself, upon his fellow officers, or upon the Stoughton Police Department. The investigation has revealed that Matthew Farwell's relationship with Sandra Birchmore when she was 15 years of age. The relationship continued for many years and included interactions and communications while Farwell was on duty for the Stoughton Police Department. You know what? You ready for this, Noodles, real quick? You know, it's not against the rules to send like naked pictures of yourself as a cop. If it doesn't say it in this book here, if it doesn't say it in here, you can do it. Smokey Eunuch, okay? The most
It's
prolific
common.
cheater in the world. You know what he did? He took the NASCAR rule book and he looked at it and he followed it to the T. If it wasn't in here, it was game on. That dude there was no rule saying you couldn't have a fuel line in any way. There's no rules in his fuel line here. There's nothing about fuel line. So you know what Smokey did? He made an 11-foot fuel line that held like 10 gallons of gas. Just a fuel line. Extra gas is like the holy grail in NASCAR. The dude made there's no rule saying you can't have an 11-foot gas line. He did.
Hey, can you look in that book? Can you look in that book and see if there's anything that is in there that says you cannot have relations with a minor?
If it's not in that book, the union will back you and go to the wall for you, man. That's how whacked out this whole thing is, man. It's whacked.
Is there anything in the context or the like index that says here where it talks about
how about
relationships?
You must follow all Massachusetts state laws, and that includes the statutory rape. You can't have relations with her under 15.
Under 15?
She was 15. She was 13 when it started. You can't do that. She was 18, 17, 18 legal. She wasn't even close.
You shouldn't be able to have a relationship with anybody under the age of 18, in my opinion. I mean, that's just not okay. If you are even 20 years old, well, no, I shouldn't say that. If you're 25 years old, you shouldn't be having a relationship with somebody that's under the age of 18, in my opinion.
Oh, he was like 45 years old.
Yeah, it's, yeah. I know some states, they have a law where after the age of like 13, the parent can't do certain things or say certain things. I called to get my 13-year-old son's medical records and to
Yep.
get logged on with his chart online, and they told me
Okay.
I have to get his approval, and because
He's
he was the age of
13. You're his mother.
yeah, yeah, right. But they told me
Okay.
I could.
Weird.
They told me I could unless he gave consent for me. I'm like, he's 13. Well, yeah, this rule starts when they're 12. Excuse me? 12 years old.
Yeah.
I don't even let him walk to the store by himself. Like, come on.
Gosh, I don't get it. All right,
That's
back to the
that's our lovely government
documents.
we have.
Oh, all right. Regarding the allegation that Officer Matthew Farwell violated Section 1 of the Police Department Rules and Regulations, conformance to laws, this allegation is not sustained. That just means it's not that it's not true, is they can't prove it beyond a reasonable, what a reasonable person would think. Not that it's not evidence there, but on the dates of February 11th, 2020 and June 19th, Matthew Farwell and Sidney Birchmore engaged in text messaging in which they discussed the date of blank. The content of text message indicate that Farwell and Birchmore blank. Farwell was a sworn member of the Stoughton Police Department on that date. In order to have a sustained finding of this allegation, investigators would need the testimony of Sandra Birchmore, who is deceased. So that's a he said, she said thing in this. And yeah. Regarding the allegation that Officer Matthew Farwell demonstrated incompetence and then failed to demonstrate sound judgment in violation of Section 3 of the Stoughton Police Department Rules and Regulations, this allegation is sustained. It's true. On the date of June 7th, 2020, Matthew Farwell failed to demonstrate sound judgment when he engaged in texting with Sandra Birchmore while on duty for the Stoughton Police Department. The content of the text messages that he requested Birchmore meet him on Walnut Street blank while he was on duty. Regarding the allegation that Officer Matthew Farwell was untruthful in violation of Section 4, this allegation is sustained, which is true. February 6th, Farwell was interviewed by the state police regarding the death of Sandra Birchmore. During the interview, Farwell admitted to blank. A review of the text messages between Farwell and Birchmore shows that he was not truthful in describing the extent of their relationship. I put that word in there. Regarding the allegation that Officer Matthew Farwell failed in his attention and devotion to duty and violates Section 7, this allegation is sustained. On the dates of June 7th, Farwell failed in his attention and devotion to duty when he engaged in texting with Sandra Birchmore while on duty for the Stoughton Police Department. The context, the messages that he requested Birchmore meet him blank, 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 don't care. Farwell had been a sworn member of the Stoughton Police Department since March 21st, 2017. Until the date of his resignation from the department on August 1st, 2022. He was a member of the Stoughton Police Explorers Group during his teenage years and had been designated the rank of lieutenant within the program in 2002. After high school, he entered the military and later acted as a guest instructor within the Explorers program at the request or direction of Robert Devine. Again, Devine, Farwell's Abington police officer. Birchmore was a member of the Explorers program. She was okay. We know that. She was found deceased in her apartment in Canton on February 4th after a well-being check when she didn't go to work. The Norfolk County DA's office conducted an investigation, and it was determined that the manner of her death blank. On February, well, we know that the manner of death was reversed by Dr. Michael Baden, who is the absolute end-all, be-all when it comes to forensic investigations of a human. Nothing. The guy's brilliant. I mean, I've watched more stuff on him than I have pretty much than more than Thomas Edison. I got more video watching of him doing stuff than him. So he's quite the amazing talented guy. And he's the one that determined what happened with Sandra.
And that would be our lovely Linda.
Linda's
Husband.
husband. Exactly who that is. So like I know how smart Linda is, but man, her husband, that dude just takes it to a whole nother level. And I respect him more than I respect a lot of other people because of his intelligence. Like he's the man. He's the guy. All right.
Could you imagine Linda and her husband's supper time talk?
Oh, yeah. Hello.
I
Oh,
would be sitting there looking back and forth going, what?
and
What?
Aiden's smart to get her as an attorney because she's brilliant. She's really smart. And
Oh,
I'm,
absolutely.
eh, yeah, I'm just in awe. I'm in awe that you know his intelligence is just, I don't know. All right, here we go. On February 11th, Fowler was interviewed by the state police as part of the Sandra Birchmore death investigation. During the interview, William Fowler stated that he first met Sandra about 10 years earlier when she was in the Explorers program and he was a guest instructor in 2018 while he was assigned to a paid detail. Sandra Birchmore approached him and they began to talk to her interest in joining the Army. Fowler put her in touch with an Army recruiter, and Sandra began to contact him on a regular basis. So there's an Army recruiter too. Forgot about him. Fowler admitted during the state police interview that he had a blank with Sandra going back about 2 years. The relationship ended when Sandra approached him and his family at a 4th of July event. After she approached his family, Fowler blocked her on social media, but they stayed in touch on and off. The last time blank. So Sandra went up to Fowler and his wife and kids and introduced herself. I think she was the babysitter. During the state
That
police
is
investigation,
disturbing.
disturbing. The
Ugh.
wife knew about it. That's even more friggin'. She said, "Take care of it."
Ugh.
During the state police investigation into Birchmore's death, there was analysis of her device and social media. This part of the investigation revealed that Fowler was in contact with Birchmore by text messages going back to at least April of 2020. Some of the content has communications in which Fowler encouraged Sandra Birchmore blank. He was like pimping her out or suggesting that she go and have sex with this person or go and do this to this person. And he was just a bad dude. There is information in some text messages that Fowler is either working a paid or shift or a paid detail while he is exchanging blank text messages with Birchmore. The dates and times of these text messages were compared with attendance and paid detail records and revealed the following. This is when he was working and talking and doing inappropriate things while in uniform while being paid. William Fowler was assigned to a midnight to 8 patrol shift and exchanged text messages with Sandra Birchmore, which blank. The text messages began at 6:47 a.m. and continued past his 8 a.m. end of shift time. Fowler was assigned to a midnight to 8 as a desk officer. He exchanged text messages with Sandra, which blank. The text messages began at 4:39 a.m. and continued past his 8 a.m. shift time. Fowler was assigned a paid detail from 8 to 4. The text messages began during his midnight shift, continued throughout the time he worked the detail. Fowler was assigned to a midnight to 8. Okay. So these are just when he was communicating back and forth, the times. And there's a violation of Section 1. Foul demonstrated immoral, improper, disorderly, or intemperate personal conduct that reflects discredit upon the officer himself, upon his fellow officers, or upon the Stoughton Police Department. On the above dates, Foul, while on duty, exchanged blank with Senator Birchmore. Regarding that allegation, the allegation is sustained. True. These are the dates he texted Birchmore. I mean, there's a lot of dates here. April, August. No May. Where's May? Foul coerced Senator Birchmore by text message.
May must have been his anniversary month.
Gotta be. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no May. The month of May is like missing here for whatever reason. Regarding the allegation that he demonstrated incompetence when he failed to demonstrate sound judgment in violation of Section 3 Stoughton Police Rules, this allegation is sustained. On the dates of April 19th, April 29th, May 6th, December 21st, he failed to demonstrate sound judgment when he was texting, and the content is blank. Regarding the allegation that Farwell was untruthful, sustained. Yeah. Farwell on February 11th, she died. Okay. William Farwell was interviewed by the state police regarding the death of Senator Birchmore. During the interview, Farwell admitted to blank. A review of the text messages between Farwell and Birchmore shows that he was not truthful in describing their relationship, I think. He stated during the interview that he last saw Sandra during December 2020. The text message indicates blank in the parking lot of her apartment building after midnight on January 10th, 2021. That's the day after my birthday. Regarding the allegation that Officer William Farwell failed in his attention and devotion to duty in violation of 7 Stoughton Police Department, allegation is sustained. And on these dates, he was texting with Senator Birchmore. All right, this is important. Regarding the Officer Farwell violated the CJIS, LEAPS, NCIC data entry policy of Stoughton Police Department rules and regulations, as well as the CJIS individual user agreement. This allegation is sustained. That is the computer system that they use to look up people by social, date of birth, height, weight, gender, location, any bit of information about any bit of piece. They can find it in that. And he used it when he didn't need to, like he used it for his own knowledge. So if someone saw a girl drive by and they liked her and they wanted to follow her, they would write the license plate down and say, put it in my mailbox. And they'd get there and they'd go to the CGIS computer and type that plate in and see everything about the person that they saw driving by for whatever reason. He did that for his own personal thing. So Farwell conducted a CJIS query on himself on 24 occasions using a Stoughton Police Department computer. This query was not associated with any type of official police business. The dates on which he conducted the queries are, so he queried himself all them times, hoping to see something about him in inside an investigation, right? Devine was a sworn member of the police department from October 4th, 1999 until his resignation on August 16th. He was a designated officer in charge of the Stoughton Police Explorers program from 2002 to 2014. So he did it for a big part of that. Birchmore was member of the Police Explorers program beginning in 2010 when she was 13. She was on the standby list. We know all this already. During the course of this investigation, various persons have described Sandra Birchmore blank. Yeah, she was found deceased on February 4th. The DA's office conducted the investigation, looked for the manner of death. They looked at the analysis of her cell phones and laptops, part of that investigation. All right. Part of this investigation revealed that Sandra Birchmore had sent text messages to William Farwell informing him that blank Robert Devine. She also sent William Farwell blank. Huh. Okay. The investigation later revealed there was direct contact between Devine and Birchmore by Facebook Messenger. Now, Devine's the guy we saw. We watched him. Between November 27th and February 1st. During some of their communications, the nature of the conversation was that Devine and Birchmore blank. There was also at least one instance where they met when Devine was on duty. Regarding the allegation that Robert Devine demonstrated incompetence when he failed to demonstrate sound judgment, this allegation is sustained. And it's sustained because on December 21st, he failed to demonstrate sound judgment when he engaged in a Facebook Messenger communications with Birchmore while on duty for the Stoughton Police Department. The content of the text messages was that he requested Birchmore meet him at the Chateau restaurant. So he asked her to meet him. Regarding the allegation that Officer Robert Devine was untruthful in violation of Section 4, this allegation is sustained, which is true. On April 8th, Devine was interviewed by Paul L'Italian and Robert Fries at the MPTC Training Academy in Randolph. Mr. L'Italian and Mr. Fries were acted as delegates from the Chief of Police, Donna McNamara. During the interview, Devine continually denied that he had any type of contact or relationship with Birchmore. So Devine denies contact. And we just saw above, in the above, that that's not true. When informed that at the stage of the investigation we hadn't found any direct communication between Devine and Birchmore, he replied, "Because you won't find it." Wow. Regarding that the officer Devine failed in his attention and devotion to duty, in violation of Section 7 of the Stoughton Police Department Rules and Regulations, this allegation is sustained, which is true. This may be petty, internal, back and forth department shit. This right here. Do you get it?
This is all crazy.
Yeah. But like, if they interviewed him 3 or 4 times, on that one time, and he's denied it something, you know, I'll give Devine, I hate to say it, but I'll give Devine this one as a win, because like this could just be a nitpick, like piling on because we already got him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the stupid seatbelt charge when the guy's got an OUI. Who cares about
Right.
the seatbelt? The OUI is more important, right? But
Yep.
this is like, I think, the nitpicky stuff.
They're gonna get more money from the DUI versus the seatbelt.
Right.
Real quick, StreamYard is really going goofy right now because
Really?
I went over to
Oh, hi, Peppa.
Tom CPU
Yep.
and it was normal. I came back to Seeking Justice and it went small again. I went back to Tom CPU and it was normal, and then I came back to Seeking Justice and it was normal again. I don't know what's going on. It's just being really goofy. And
That's-
my comments are showing up in Tom's CPU chat.
I know that StreamYard did a massive update, so I know that. The layouts that we have designed, I think are messing with StreamYard. They know how, like StreamYard knows how we have it set up and how we want it. And I think it's, yeah. Sorry about that, guys. I'm doing my best here. And just so
No,
you guys know, that the Venmo at the top right-hand corner is for Toys for Tots. Bottom line is this: we're gonna raise some money, and we're gonna go shopping, and we're gonna get toys, and we're gonna bring them somewhere and donate them to people that don't have them. We're all gonna do it together. We're gonna go shopping, all of us. We're gonna do it live. And don't send me in there like December 21st or 22nd when it's like crazy town. I mean, we're gonna have a list. You need
and
to
when
go
the
here
shelves
and
are
get-
empty.
we're gonna go before that. Okay. Do we have a video or something we could play so I can take a quick break? So I'm gonna need more coffee.
Do you want to play that News Nation one I sent you? Where it
Yep.
talks about
I can pop that up
Divine
real quick.
being the last one. It's like 5 minutes and 30 seconds or
Perfect.
something like that.
Perfect. Yep. Let me grab it.
If that's enough time.
Absolutely. I just need to get more coffee, guys. Stretching, you got to get up and stretch your legs. You don't want blood clots. Where are we? La 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 la. Boom. It's 3 minutes, but it'll work. So this is from News Nation, everybody. Ashley Banfield. Is it Banfield?
Yes.
Share screen. Bang. Bang. Full screen. You can see it, right?
I
Yeah.
can see it in screen.
It's been more
All
than
right,
4.5 years since Sandra Birchmore, then 23 years old and 3 months pregnant, was found hanging in her apartment in Canton, Massachusetts. But it is the decade of exploitation and deceit and corruption that came before that turned what looked like a simple suicide into an all-out murder case brought by the feds, and a lawsuit brought by Sandra's family, and multiple investigations and hearings involving police in the neighboring town of Stoughton. That's where Sandra joined the Young Explorers program when she was just 13. It's a program for kids who, want to get a taste of police work. The man charged with Sandra's murder, Matthew Farwell, was a Stoughton cop and a mentor in the Explorers program. But before he was hit with those charges, Sandra's family filed a lawsuit accusing him and 2 other Stoughton cops of, and I quote, grooming and repeated sexual assaults against Sandra over the course of a decade. Those other 2 cops, now former cops, are Matthew Farwell's brother, William Farwell, and Robert Devine, the former deputy chief of the Stoughton Police Department and leader of the Explorer program. Both men deny wrongdoing, and neither has been charged with any crime connected to Sandra. But for months now, Devine has been the subject of a secret disciplinary set of hearings, and the Boston Globe just unearthed a bombshell from a closed-door hearing in June. The authorities, or the Globe says authorities now believe that former Deputy Chief Devine contacted, that's the word they used, contacted Sandra Birchmore on the very same day that she died, February 1st, 2021. It's unclear what form that alleged contact took, or what was said in the contact, or even whether Birchmore responded to Deputy Chief Devine. We do know Matthew Farwell is alleged to have strangled Birchmore that evening, February 1st, and we know he's seen on video surveillance entering and leaving her apartment building. We know that Sandra believed, or at least claimed, that Matthew Farwell was the father of her unborn baby, and Farwell apparently believed that he was. But the Globe reported earlier this year that DNA tests proved otherwise. The baby's father's true identity has not yet been revealed, and it may not be known. Matthew Farwell's murder trial hasn't yet been scheduled, but video recordings of the hearings for Robert Devine at Deputy Chief, they're being prepped for public release, and they could drop any day now. So, as I often say, watch this space.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased.
All right. Isn't that crazy?
That whole thing totally blew me by surprise when I watched that this morning.
Isn't it? I can't. This is just, it blows my mind how they didn't arrest him like on the spot. Like, come on now. You're coming with us. Nope. Let him go.
Yeah, he should have been arrested the
Ugh.
moment he said he knew about it in that hearing.
It's wrong. All right. Investigative actions. On February 23rd, 2021, I opened a case file as a collection point for this case investigation. I queried all records pertaining to Sandra Birchmore within the department's in-house computer database known as IMC. After review of all records, I administratively locked access to these records with the exception to access by Chief McNamara, me, and Detective Sergeant O'Connor. I gave a verbal directive to Detective Sergeant O'Connor that if any records requests came in for Birchmore, that the chief and I were to be notified. On February 24th, Detective Matthew Favre was placed on administrative leave. I was assisted by Detective Sergeant O'Connor. At that time, Detective Favre turned in his equipment in his department property as ordered by the memo for administrative leave. On February 26, 2021, I took the IMC access control thumb drive of Matthew Favre, and he had retired executive assistant Mary DeCastro verify that the thumb drive was in fact the IMC access and control drive. Mrs. DeCastro verified that it was. The drive was kept in the box that is secured in my office. On March 2nd, I prepared an inventory of the property taken from Matthew Favre and left a memo for you. On Monday, March 15th, 2021, I received communication. He was sending documents that included letters from the victim, Mrs. Birchmore, and other communications that was forwarding to me for the purpose of cooperating within this department's internal affairs investigation. On Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, I left a message for blank. On Wednesday, as an introduction, I discussed blank for blank understanding how the internal affair process operates. Boy. Blank told me that blank had shared 4 full file boxes of documents that were Mrs. Birchmore's property recovered from her apartment. Blank turned those boxes over to the MSP. Lieutenant Fanning later shared with me some of the personal notes that he took from the boxes that he thought may be relevant to this case. I reviewed the documents, which were mainly handwritten notes to people with whom she had personal relationships. She had a diary, a couple of them, I think. On Monday, April 26, 2021, I delivered Matthew Favre's department-issued cell phone to Trooper Kevin Tufts of the Norfolk County DA's office to be delivered to the investigation Trooper Sergeant Fanning. This was shared in cooperation with their unattended death investigation. So on 26th, they gave Favre's cell phone to the DA's office. Okay. On Friday, July 30th, you and I met with DA. The first assistant DA, Sergeant Fanning, Lieutenant Melanio, and Trooper Matthew Dunn of the Massachusetts State Police. Dunn. There's our boy Dunn there. Blanked out. On September 3rd, 2021, after having previously received authorization from the town manager, I met with Captain Retired Paul L'Italian. Mr. L'Italian is a retired captain of the Massachusetts State Police and now works as an independent private investigator and consultant. I want, how do you become a PI? I know you have to get like certified and stuff, right? I provided a brief overview of the Birchmore foul matter. He signed a non-disclosure agreement at my request, and I provided him with copies of several documents. The reports of the MSP were provided, along with several pages of notes in journals that were kept by Birchmore. On Thursday, September 30th, 2021, I met with Sergeant Fanning of the MSP ISU. I was given a thumb drive that contained evidence from the unattended death investigation of victim Sandra Birchmore. The file labeled evidence contained blank. Another file that was a PDF was titled Backlit Case Birchmore. This file contained 50,000 pages of communications that were pulled from Birchmore's computer. The computer had been synced with her cell phone. The files were conversations, text messages, iMessages, in various forms of communication with her contacts. The document was a challenging to review in that it was not in a chronological order and messages were duplicated. On Thursday, September 21st, I conducted a preliminary review of the thumb drive and observed many of the conversations blank. I notified Chief McNamara and the town manager by email that I would be viewing the files of this nature for investigative purposes. So I think what that's about is he notified them that he's going to access a drive that may have images of an underage child, which is her. So he's writing her a letter that he thinks he may inadvertently view them, but if he's viewing them, it's for an investigative purpose only. All right. On Tuesday, October 5th, I met with PI Battalion, and he requested that I sign a document from his investigation service. The document stated he was receiving a flash drive blank, and the purpose of his viewing it would be for investigative purpose. The letter indicated that files would not be copied and would be returned to me upon completion of this investigation. I signed the document and took a copy for the case file. So those images, he's transmitting them one way to another person, and he's giving them a document saying that, hey, here you go. On Thursday, November 4th, on Wednesday, October 6th, I met Sergeant Fanning at the office of the DA, and I received from him Sandra Birchmore's MacBook Air. The laptop was placed in my case file for review. On Thursday, November 4th, 2021, I met with PI Battalion, and we conducted a strategic review of a thumb drive that contained a file named Backlit Report. The file was received from the MSP ISU and was the downloaded file from the laptop of Sandra Birchmore. The computer had reportedly synchronized with her cell phone. During the review, we observed and discussed conversations between Farwell and a recruiter for the Mass Army National Guard, who was believed to be Birchmore's recruiting officer. We identified conversations that would be of interest to the U.S. military. We also noted there were photographs and videos that had been exchanged between Birchmore and William and Matthew Farwell. On Tuesday, November 9th, I reviewed all available files that have been kept archived in the department's dead records storage. These files were in a WB Mason box labeled Explorers, and had been placed there by me after I moved into my office in 2017. Previous to this, the files had been kept in the office that I currently occupy by the former deputy chief, now Officer Robert Devine. Sorry. Officer Robert Devine had been in charge of the Stoughton Police Explorers program in 2002 until approximately 2014. Among the students of the earlier classes were Matthew and William Farwell and later Sandra Birchmore. I located paperwork that had the names on it, as well as class syllabus and other related documents that could further be used for the course of this investigation. On Wednesday, November 10th, 2021, I continued a review of all related documents as referenced on November 9th. On Thursday, December 2nd, 2021, PI Battalion met and continued this investigation. On December 7th, I met and conferred with blank. I served him notice that blank would be a witness in this case. I discussed limited scope of the case, citing names of involved or personnel, and spoke in general terms. I advised him that a subject of this investigation has a procedural due process rights, and that I am also bound by the confidentiality of the policy concerning internal affairs. I discussed that blank has direct knowledge of the relevant parts of this investigation and that he is a material witness. I discussed that he would be allowed to bring a representative with his for the witness interview. Blank inquired if he should place blank on administrative leave, and I told him that, in my opinion, no, he should not do that. I also advised him that if during the course of the investigation, blank were to turn from witness to a subject for any reason, I would inform blank as to the change in the scope. Blank inquired about knowing in the future of the broader scope of the investigation. I responded that given the most recent changes with the office, police reform, and post, that he would likely be able to receive an unredacted copy of the investigative report when it is complete. On Thursday, December 9th, 2021, PI L'Italian and I met and continued this investigation. On several dates throughout this investigation, PI L'Italian and I had ongoing discussions by cell phone and in person pertaining to the documents related to this case. Collectively, we performed word searches in the PDF that I had recovered from the MSP, specifically the backlight report of communications that victim Sandra Birchmore had with her contacts dating back to 2019. On or about the dates of December 15, 16, 17, and the 27th, I met or conversed with Lieutenant Fanning. Note that Lieutenant Fanning was promoted to lieutenant in the month of December. On December 16, 2021, while working with PI L'Italian, we conversed with Lieutenant Fanning in my office. I returned the MacBook Pro back to Lieutenant Fanning's custody. On Thursday, December 21st, 2021, I met with blank for an interview. See person interviewed summary below. PI L'Italian and I met blank at the MPTC Randolph headquarters building. I had previously arranged for the use of a room in the building. Blank was accompanied by blank. After some small talk, I inquired if blank had any idea why he was being interviewed. He said no. I informed him that the investigation concerned the matter of Sandra Birchmore. After some discussion, I offered to allow him to stop the interview if he felt that he needed to consider the representation that he had. In other words, you might need to get a lawyer. We began the interview process at approximately 10:30 a.m. After approximately 30 minutes of questions, blank asked to stop the interview for a break. After consulting with blank asked to stop the interview so that he could consult further representation. I obtained the name of the blank that the typically uses. I ended the interview advising blank that he should communicate with only the attorney on this matter, and I told blank that I would arrange for another interview through the blank. I communicated with so-and-so on December 21st, 22nd, 2021 about the outcome of the first interview and arranged for a continuation of the interview on the week of 12/27. See Exhibit 8. On Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, I met with Lieutenant Fanning of the Massachusetts State Police and received the data files from Birchmore's computer. The version of the data was exported into the Celebrate data management program. On Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, I received at my request all available pet adoption files from blank that had been previously stored at the Stoughton Animal Control Center. I attempted to locate adoption papers where Sandra Birchmore adopted a cat from the shelter 2 to 3 years ago. I conducted a complete review of the files that were given to me. No such document were located. The files returned to the ACO. On Tuesday, January 11th, I received confirmation via email from blank that blank were to meet at the MPTC Randolph for a continuation of the first interview. Meeting would take place on Thursday, January 20th. I neglected to confirm the arranged date with blank, and such an interview was rescheduled. PI L'Italian and I continued the investigation for several hours. Oh my. Oh, what's this say? We're having trouble streaming to Facebook. There may be an issue on Facebook's end. All right, so Facebook is having an issue.
So I'm curious to what does this cat adoption have anything to do with Sandra's death?
So she wanted a cat, a kitten, and so I'm under the impression, and I'm probably wrong, and I hope I am, but they traded sexual favors for a cat.
What?
Yeah. The guy who was in charge of the animal control was an Abington police officer, I think. And he made her do things to him in order to get the cat.
So just another offender.
Yes, exactly. And
Yuck.
and she was passed off.
Poor
Heel, that's his
Sandra.
name. Thank you. Josh Heel, I think, right? But the police officers passed her off to him for that purpose. That's trafficking of a minor.
Right.
It just blows my head. I don't understand how they can do this to this poor girl. She had no family. They took advantage of her every way possible.
Absolutely. Mentally, physically, emotionally, just in every single form.
And they
it's
started when she was
disgusting.
13 years old. I don't understand it.
It's cringe. Very, very, very cringe.
All right, I need to take a break and stretch my legs. How about that? Everyone take a 5-minute break? We good with that?
Sounds good to me.
Anything we can put on for 5 minutes?
Let me check.
You usually get good stuff. And looking. You know who's got good stuff is Be in Trouble. I've been trying to get him to come on real quick. Oh, real quick, everybody. Broken Baker. I'm not sure if you guys subscribed to him yet. You absolutely should. That man is just hands down putting the work in and doing it nice too. You know, it's not easy to sit here and talk. You know, people think it's easy. It's not. And Baker does it beautifully. You know, and yesterday they cut his stream off and he handled it like a champ. What a guy. Like that's, you know, and you know it's messed up, not messed up, but it's you don't hear about none of the bullshit, you know, the gossip and the back blah blah blah. You don't hear nothing from him. He stays out of it. He just does his thing, and he does his thing dynamite. So if you haven't subscribed to Broken Baker, I strongly suggest that you go and find his channel and subscribe. In the meantime, I need to step up. And you find anything, Noodles?
I did. I sent you 2 different news nations. One is from like 4 months ago, and one's from like a month ago. One is talking about the DNA. The other one is talking about.
Okay, this one's 5 minutes. This will work. All right,
Okay.
so that You guys are like, I think this is the one I watched. I think it was horrific. This one's horrific. Is he's talking about her, right? Like laughing.
Yeah, I think that's when he was talking about she was lying about everything.
Yeah. All right.
With her while you were on patrol approximately 20 times, if not a little more. Maybe. How long do those interactions last?
No more than a few minutes.
And how long would those interactions last before she asked you to rail her?
She came up with that one probably 2 or 3 weeks in.
So just out of the blue, she would just say, when are you going to give in and rail me?
That's what she does. It's not what she did.
To you.
No, it's what she did to plenty of people.
So you witnessed when she did this to other people?
No, other people talked about it.
Who are these other people that talked about it?
Just people around the station, you know, would say things that she would say, inappropriate things to people, that she would everything else. I mean, no one told me she directly propositioned them, but that she would say things that were out of bounds.
But you acknowledge that she had told you that she was having a sexual relationship with Matthew Farwell?
No, I didn't acknowledge that. What she said to me was, when she was propositioning, Matt and Billy like it. She said that one time.
Like what?
I assume she meant like sleeping with her. That's what she said to me.
So she did have intimate conversations with you.
That was the one thing she ever said about them.
Did she say that stuff about anyone else?
No.
So it was just Matthew and Billy Farwell.
Well, she said Matt and Billy. I assumed it was Matthew and Billy Farwell. But I also didn't believe her when she said it.
Why not?
Because she lied about everything.
What are some of the things that she lied about?
She lied about being pregnant half a dozen times. She had restraining orders taken out on her. I know one restraining order in particular. Her boyfriend said, you know, she pretty much lied about everything there was to lie.
So the murder victim is a liar, and the girl who was murdered, who was also raped at 15 and groomed from the time she was 13 in your program, is the liar, is the problem. She's the one asking us all for sex. Though I don't know who. I don't know who. Just people talking, you know. I want to bring in someone who's been following this story very closely. Bob Ward is a reporter for Boston 25 News, good friend of the program. My blood boils, Bob. It boils when I hear stuff like this about a kid that obviously has had a really rough go from the time of 13, wanted to be a cop, and instead was passed around, it seems. There are other people involved in this story as well. But can I just ask you why former Deputy Police Chief Robert Devine would sit for this interview? Was it mandatory, this internal affairs investigation, now that he's retired?
Well, it's mandatory in that he is trying to fight decertification. He is decertified. I think he let his certification lapse, and the state is moving to decertify him so he cannot hold any position in law enforcement in Massachusetts and by extension in other states as well. He is a lawyer, and I think, from what I understand, he is trying to protect his rights, and maybe he wants to advance his career and do some work maybe for the Executive Office of Public Safety, which oversees the state police. If he does not get his certification back, then he won't be able to do any of that. So that's why he is there. That's why he is fighting this.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense now that you say he's a lawyer and he wants to do some lawyery type work maybe with the police. That makes sense. So isn't he taking a huge chance by saying, I never had sex with well, she was a woman at the point where it happened. And also, I'm not this Mel Gibson character, Marty Riggs, because doesn't the board say, we actually got you on that. We got overwhelming evidence on that.
Exactly. And a lot of this, you know, hasn't been made public yet, and, you know, the exact evidence that they have. But, you know, the fact that he's gone out there and said, I did not have sex with this young woman. I did not reach out to her on Facebook, on Messenger. In the face of the investigators saying, we have overwhelming evidence that you did these things, that you called her on the day that she died, you know, these can very easily be provable. And from what we understand, there's some computer forensic evidence that's been, analysis that has been done. And we're hearing that they've been able to put this Marty Riggs alias on Divine. So, it is very difficult to understand how, when you're in the face of facts that can be easily proven wrong, how you could go out there and just present it this way. His lawyer is saying that, he denies everything, that this has all been one big lie, and that he is a victim. He's a victim of people who are out to get him.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.
Sorry about that, guys. Stop that. All right. Why am I hearing this? No, hold on. Okay, check. Share this one. Okay. Here we go. If you're coming back, thank you all for sharing this. Thank you all for liking it. Thumbs up. Cash App CPU Tom, Venmo CPU Tom. Like, subscribe. You know how to do all that stuff. Boom.
Venmo at the top of the screen is for Toys for Tots.
Christmas is coming,
For the-
guys. Christmas is
For the
coming.
children out there that can't afford.
I would
gifts
love to
themselves.
be able to just have piles of toys. We can just give them, make sure they have a good Christmas this year.
I mean, if I cleaned out my toy bins in my basement, I would have plenty of toys.
Well, there you go. Well, I'm sure you have a local toy drive there, right? Fill a cruiser.
Just not. Yeah, they're just not brand new.
Something's better than nothing.
Yeah, it all goes to the thrift store, which is a good spot for it. 'cause
Bingo.
then it's
Exactly. Yep.
At least cheaper for families, anyways.
They'll use it. All right. You ready for more back and forth here? Actually, before we do that, let me check and see if the chief responded to me. Let's see real quick. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. I'm gonna,
Still
you
no
know,
response on the FOIAs?
nope. I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it one more day, and then I will print out the FOIA itself and go down there myself and hand deliver the FOIA. Yeah. Hi,
There
Mom.
you go.
Thanks for coming in. All right, here we go. More stuff. I requested a forensic analysis of the couch that's located in the blank. After the detective lieutenant received authorization to assist with his administrative investigation through his chain of command, we arranged for the unit to respond on Friday, January 14th at 1000 hours. The blank PI Italian was also authorized to attend/participate. Okay. On Friday, January 14th, I met PI Italian, Detective Lieutenant Kenneth Hefferman of the MSP Crime Scene Laboratory, and forensic technician Jennifer Priestlage at the blank. So they obviously found a couch and they wanted to do some DNA testing on it. On Wednesday, February 9th, investigator Italian and I met with blank at the Abington Town Hall in a previously reserved conference room. Present with him was his attorney. See persons interviewed summary below. On Thursday, February 17th, 2022, I had a discussion with the Patrolman Union's president, Barber, pertaining to notification of an interview with Officer Matthew Farwell. On Friday, February 18th, 2022, President Barber agreed to accept Farwell's interview notice, and he was to hand serve him the notice. On February 22nd, 2022, I received an email from attorney Patrick Hanley, who represent Matthew Farwell. Attorney Hanley confirmed an interview date of March 7th, 2022. Between the dates of February 22nd and March 11th, 2022, through a series of phone calls and emails between attorney Hanley and myself, and at some points through town council, Matthew Farwell resigned from his employment with the town effective April 1st, 2022. A previous communication from his attorney indicated that Matthew Farwell would not be participating in an interview in this matter upon the resignation letter. Chief McNamara had the resignation stamped by the town clerk, Stephanie Carrera, as official receipt by the town on March 11th, 2022. An interview was drafted. Had Matthew Farwell been interviewed, he would have been asked a series of questions as detailed in Exhibit 2. I'm not sure we're going to get to those exhibits. On March 28th, 2022, I left a message for witness blank, inquiring about blank scheduling an interview for this investigation. Blank later returned my call and scheduled an interview for Saturday, April 2nd, 2022 at 10 o'clock. On or about March 28th, after some previous discussions between myself, P.I. L'Italian, and Chief McNamara, it was decided that I would not participate in the interview or notice of interview of Officer Devine. P.I. L'Italian brought the assistance of P.I. Robert Fries, Detective Lieutenant, Massachusetts State Police retired, to assist in the interview of Devine. So Devine was kind of like the cheerleader, like the head guy. Nice.
Well, you always got to have a cheerleader for every squad, right?
Yeah, he was like the head guy.
Yeah.
All right. On March 12th, Officer William Farwell was served notice that he was under investigation. Note, William Farwell was at the time on military leave, detailed to his Mass Army National Guard unit, and had been deployed for several months. His anticipated return to full date was May through July 2022. So I think because he's in the military, he's allowed to leave his position as long as it goes to the military and they hold his spot open for the entire length of his deployment. I think that is true. Right?
Sorry, I was typing. I'm not a multitasker either. So what was that last part that you were saying?
Because he was on leave from the police department, because he was on training with the National Guard or doing something deployed, they keep his spot open in the police department.
Oh,
The whole time he's deployed.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, they have to though.
Right.
I think-
Exactly. And I think that's what they were talking here.
Yeah.
He was
'Cause
deployed
that's-
when this happened, right? See, the anticipated return date, they didn't know. Made it to July.
Okay. That's just, that kind of seems like a scapegoat for them.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, even though the dates don't line up with Sandra, it's almost like, well, he couldn't have done it because he's part of the army. Like, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's where that National Guard guy comes in. If Devine was what's what I'm looking for? If they put Devine on leave when he was on deployment, he wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So on April 4th, it was determined based on the review of some of the evidence that P.I. Battalion and I had obtained that Officer Devine should be placed on paid administrative leave. A discussion was held with TM Robert Grimm, Chief McNamara, and myself in the town manager's office on Monday, April 4th, 2022. And I provided an investigative update per the Stoughton Police Department Internal Affairs Policy. Relevant to that discussion, relevant to the decision to place Officer Devine on paid leave was evidence received during the investigation showing that blank. It was decided that on the basis of information available that the interests of the department in the town would be best protected by placing the officer on paid administrative leave. Officer Devine was served a notice that at 15:45 hours and served a notice of investigative interview that would be conducted by P.I. Battalion. Further discussion was held about the role of Officer Farwell. I reported that it was believed that evidence showed that Officer Farwell had frequent contact. A determination was made to place Farwell on paid administrative leave. Chief McNamara called Farwell by phone on April 12th, 2022, and he later reported to the station. I assisted in that discussion and retrieved his department equipment. Farwell was present with the union president, Barber. So the union walked in with him too. All right. We're on page 25. I think this is a good place to quit. Quit for the day. You want to finish it tomorrow?
We can finish it tomorrow. That
2.5 hours, man. 2 hours and 21 minutes. It's a long day.
Yeah, and when you're reading all these documents, it kind of just like drags on and drags on and drags on, and it makes it for an even longer day.
Yeah. All right. Awesomeness. I messed up the screen. My fault. I'm sure the mods will fix it. I'll get yelled at for it. Sorry. But either way.
Well, tomorrow we'll hopefully be able to have the whole StreamYard figured out too. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the update that they did. Pretty cool.
Well, Kirk's 7143 was saying apparently there's like 2 streams of each channel that is showing. So 2 Tom CPU, 2 Seeking Justice, and 1, from what it kind of sounds like, 1 is like, oh, I didn't even check Facebook, but
yeah,
1 is the normal, 1 is like a short, like what we were struggling with before.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's weird.
We'll figure it out. All right. With that said, the Eddie O'Brien case will blow your mind. Oh, I'm sure it will. Oh, I'm sure. I mean, we're just touching. We're going to go through this, and then we'll maybe look at that one because that's more insane craziness. So
yeah, I don't know anything about that Eddie O'Brien one, so I'm kind of curious now to see what that's all about. Do you know anything about it?
Some of it, not all of it, but yeah, it's crazy like this. All right, listen, you have a wonderful night, my dear, and we'll touch base in the morning. How's that?
Sounds perfect. Good night to everybody.
Thank you all for being here. Please like, subscribe, share that stuff, and we'll see you tomorrow sometime. How's that?
And don't forget the Venmo at the top for
Toys for Tots. No doubt. Awesome. All right. You all have a wonderful night. Love yous.
Bye, everybody. Love yous.
Bye.
Cold mornings, cracked pavement, courthouse steps. He's there before sunrise while the world still rests. No cameras needed, no spotlight glare. Just a man with a purpose, always standing there. Facing the crowd, but the fight in his veins. Truth in his hands, pushing through the rain. Karen sees him, she knows what it means when you've got boots on the ground and you fight for your dreams. Boots on the ground, day after day, standing for truth in the hardest way. No fame, no glory, just a promise kept. Tom CPU, you never left. He don't ask for credit, don't ask for praise. Just fight in the good fight in 1,000 ways. When the cameras fade and the voices die, he's still right there, never asking why. He's got a handshake that you can trust, eyes that don't blink when it comes to us. Karen smiles because she knows it's true. She's got a soldier and his name's CPU. Boots on the ground, day after day, standing for truth in the hardest way. No fame, no glory, just a promise kept. Tom CPU, you never left. When the courthouse is empty and the crowd's gone home, Tom's still walking, he's never alone. 1,000 steps, a million prayers, because justice don't sleep and neither does he care.